What's up, everybody? This is SQuest. I am going to walk you through how to make a beat. This is a good one. I know it's been 4 years since my last video, and I've gotten a little better since that last video. So this one was off of a YouTube video that a buddy of mine found. Shout out to Comatose Jeff. He was trolling on YouTube and found a video about John Dillinger that he really liked the way the sound of it was. Let me give you a little sneak peek as to what it sounded like.
This desperate
So basically what I did was I took that sound and I layered it onto a drum track. Drum track is one of the tools here in Ableton that you can use. Basically layer any sound you want onto the keys of your keyboard. Usually used for drums, of course, but I used it in this case for slicing up that track and be able to lay it on the keys. And when I put it on the keys, I can literally play that in any order that I want. So what I did is I tried out a couple of different loops, melodies, things like that, and found one that I really liked. So I'm gonna show you what melody I came up with. All right, so basically I came up with the loop using the sound that was already off the YouTube video, slicing it up into pieces, playing it in a different order. You guys may know from my last video 4 years ago, I did the same thing with that song where I basically took the notes off of the song, laid it on the keys, played them in a different order, made it my own, so it doesn't sound like such of a straight sample. Not that there's anything wrong with straight samples. So at this point I wanted to decide what kind of feel I wanted to have the song to have, and I wanted it to be powerful, loud, strong. So we were very picky when it came to picking the percussions that we ended up picking for this song. We went with a drum kit that's already in Ableton through their Impulse tool, and we found one that was actually called Penthouse. Penthouse has some strong kick, snare, hat, tambourine, even in there. There's another hat, and threw a little true verb on it. This is the reverb tool, one of the Waves plugins that I use quite often for reverb. And gave it a little bit of body. So basically here's what the drum track sounds like. Pretty sweet if I do say so myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to put together the loop, the drum track, and then I also added a little bit of a clap. Let me show you a little trick that I did with the clap. It's a clap noise. It's layered on 2 tracks. I got one of them panned hard right, one panned hard left, and one's got a 21 millisecond delay. Creates a stereo effect. Be very, very careful when using this. You don't want to stereo effect things like that too much. A little clap wasn't really a problem. It might create phase issues, so just FYI on that one. But here's what it sounds like all put together. And now I'll put the bass line in there. Now the bass line, you got to take your time with your bass line. Don't just slap something on there just so it has some low end. Think about what key the song is in, what notes sound good. Usually what I'll do is I'll octave away it really high when I'm playing my bass line to figure out what I like so I can hear it better on a higher octave. And then when I find the melody that I like, kind of like as if you were playing a lead, and you put the melody the way you like it, octave back down, drop it down to the low end. And this is what I came up with. And then just to give a little bit of effect, it's a strong song. It's got powerful percussions. I went ahead and just added in, especially at the beginning, and then at the beginning of after I have the first break here. This is a very short song, by the way. It's only about 1.5 minutes. It's his intro. But we put in an explosion. And the last little trick that I'm going to share with you guys that I did on the return A track, I put an Reverb stereo. Reverb is another Waves plugin for reverb. And I found one that I really liked as far as the size of the room that I wanted. And I sent a little bit of each one of my tracks. You can see here on these, you can send certain amount of your sound to that return track. So basically the reason I did this is I wanted my song to sound like it was all in the same room. You don't want your drums to sound like they're in a big room and then your instrumentation to sound like it's in a little room. So I created an R-verb of the size and feel of a room that I want. This is a hall type of reverb sound that I used, and then send a little bit of each track to the to that return. There's a lot of people like to use a reverb track on their master just to kind of make everything mold everything together into the same reverb track. Same principle. The only difference is now I have the flexibility of choosing how much of each sound I want to send to that reverb. Whereas if you put it on the master track, you don't have that flexibility. So I want to show you guys what that reverb sounds like by itself first. And if you think about it, you can actually tell how big the room is that you're hearing. And now let me turn it on with the rest of the song. There you go. I'm SQuest, and thank you all for taking the time to check out how I made this beat. Keep an eye out for future videos, different songs, things I'm going to come up with. Check my Facebook below the video here. Go like my stuff. I got my music out there, and we'll see you guys again soon. Love yourself, love each other. Don't change for anybody. Peace.